Championship games then.
AFC Championship Game is up first. They are both on Sunday, which will mean Monday morning for us. I mean, I love Mondays. Yeah, Garfield, etc.
7 o'clock in the morning, the first one for us. But
yeah, we might catch a little bit. It's going to be pretty hard to catch any NFC Championship Game action. Luckily, I suppose, if you can keep your eyes off the internet for 6 hours, you can watch a full replay. Pretty hard to do these days. Anyways, Chiefs, Bengals. Probably at the start of the year, a lot of people had the Chiefs making this game. Who would have had the Bengals making this game at the start of the year? Not me. Not either of you guys, I can't imagine. Not many people at all. Definitely a lot of people, expecting a little bit of improvement out of the Bengals. We saw Joe Burrow go so well last year before having that ACL injury. He has to be the comeback player of the year.
Oh, easy.
Has to be.
Definite.
And Cincinnati, believe in Southern Ohio. Stranger things have happened. What do we think here, lads?
I keep shitting on their defense, the Bengals defense. It's not they've got enough weapons, but also then I keep saying the same thing about the Chiefs. They're not the defense they were when they made their last couple of Super Bowl runs as well.
Having said that, the Chiefs, we obviously didn't see much out of them in this Bills game. The back end of the year, the Chiefs defense was pretty good.
They had played better.
Early on in the year, it struggled a fair bit, but then kind of peaked at the right time. But I do agree, and the bookies agree. Obviously, the Chiefs are well favoured in this game. If the Bengals are to upset them, how do they do it?
Just got to score more points. That's all it is.
That's the old John Madden. Rest in peace. Yeah, what we got to do here, guys, is score more points than the other team, and we'll win the football game.
Yeah, well, let me rephrase. They got to score a fuckload of points.
And when they have to do it? I think they have to do it early. We've seen the Chiefs come back from 21 zip or 14 zip down. Make them if you can capitalize on those first two drives, you've got all these offensive weapons. You've got Jamar Chase, this standout wide receiver, but you've got other weapons like Joe Mixon is really good. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Uzoma goes okay. If they can score early and put it back in the ball park of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, maybe they can get it done that way.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big task.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the Bengals can't have drives end in punts or field goals. They have to be scoring a bulk touchdowns at this point because it's not going to be a low-scoring game. I can't see how these two defenses play a grindy game where it's all run-focused. It's going to be all through the air. They're going to go back and forth like they did a couple of weeks ago. You got to remember the Bengals. What did that game finish up? Can you give me a score for that? Bengals did win that game.
I'll chase that one up. That was an elite
game. It was the game of the round, I think, for that week. Have I picked the Bengals? I don't think I did. For whatever reason, I'm still shitting on the Bengals.
Bengals won that game 34-31, 65 total points. Joe Burrow did throw 446 yards, 4 touchdowns. They know that they did it just, 4 or 5 weeks ago. That's got to be big for their confidence. Big that there's that belief. Guys, the same guys that we faced a month ago. Will this be an America versus the Chiefs type scenario, much like the Patriots?
Well, as a Denver fan, you can't back the Chiefs. I have tipped them, but
I can't back them, but I can tip them.
Yeah, I'd rather not see the Chiefs win, and I'd like to see the Bengals go through. But I just think Chiefs have been there. They've still got the alien. They've still got Kels and Hill over there. They've got weapons.
Yep.
It'll be a shootout, and it'll just be whoever's left at the end of it after that gunfight will go through to the Super Bowl. I don't think an AFC team wins the Super Bowl this year. That's my thoughts.
Okay, that's a bold call.
Well, I'm hoping the certain team in the second game wins their game. I think they should be able to beat everyone else that's left in the last 4. That's my thoughts.
They definitely have the talent. Let's keep it on this AFC Championship game. I can't tip against the Chiefs. You'd be mad not to. Interesting here. Sportsbet doesn't have odds for them for the Bengals at present. See if you can find them off someone else there, Monks. It will be America versus the Chiefs kind of scenario. You'd imagine everyone will be wanting the Bengals to get the job done. Stranger things have happened here. I'd love to just see a nice close game like we saw last week, and that we didn't get.
High scoring, but close game.
Yeah,
and competitive.
Yeah, just not like Super Wildcard weekend where it was super blowout weekend.
Yeah, 42-10 kind of thing.
Exactly.
We don't want that. We want to see these guys go at it, score a bulk touchdowns, put on the highlights, and get it in there.
The under-overs for this game, 54.5.
It was 55 last week. Got there easy.
Very true. They shit it in last week. And
I think there was more firepower last week than there is in this. I think they're very similar.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And 34-31, that's 65 points last time they played.
Also to that as well, so going back to needing to score early, so in the first half, I got this backwards, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'll move on.
Here we go. Quality listening, as always, on the Esky.
Yeah. Let's move on to the market.
The market set.
So unofficial sponsors, Ladbrokes has got the Bengals at $3.90. Unofficial sponsor Sportbet has the Kansas Chiefs at $1.26. That's same as Ladbrokes. I mean, yeah. And
that's pretty high for Bengals.
$3.80. It's a game of football.
Maybe that's why it's suspended.
Yeah, well, there could have been a lot of money getting pumped into it, and they've suspended it.
Maybe.
I was trying to see if there's any injuries for why they suspended it, but there's nothing. So, Sportsbet maybe a bit worried about all the people dumping money on the Bengals.
Yeah, worried about them doubling their profits last year during lockdown. And horse racing had to go on. It's essential, et cetera, et cetera. Look,
That's
I wasn't arguing. NFC Championship game. That will be the later game Sunday night in the States, Monday morning our time. Rams, 49ers, Matt Stafford, we spoke about it, straight into the Super Bowl. They've assembled an absolute all-star team. And the guys that they brought in, we spoke about OBJ. You remember 2 months ago when everyone's saying, OBJ's cancer, he's washed up, he's this, he's that.
Just gave him the football and he's all right.
Bang, bang. Von Miller coming off, more than anyone, coming off injuries. He's still the same Von Miller, yeah? Turns out he is, actually.
He's better in the playoffs, and it's been a while since he's been there. So,
and Cooper Kupp, the guy that was projected. I'm talking fantasy football, like wide receiver 20, wide receiver 25, maybe this year. Number one receiver in football.
Well, I think the Bucks made big mistakes where they were doubling Cooper and they left OBJ one-on-one, and you'd have that all day.
What can you do, though?
Yeah, true.
Pick your poison. Pick your poison. Yeah. They doubled a guy who went for 180 yards and a touchdown. So, maybe you need to double that guy.
Yeah.
How do the 49ers stop this high-powered Rams offense? Can they do it?
Well, you got to remember Shanny is 5-0 against McVay and the Rams.
Yeah, he's his daddy.
Yeah,
he's
so
his daddy. That's going to have to count for something.
That's probably the biggest thing. They beat them recently. When did they play? Did they play a month ago as well?
The last game of the regular season, I'm pretty sure, for the 49ers to get into the playoffs. If they weren't even 3 weeks ago, there was a question mark whether they would be playing playoff football. Now it's just 2 wins and that win against the Rams in week 18, and they're in another NFC Championship game.
My thoughts, I don't feel like the 49ers deserve to be there.
They never do, but sometimes they just weasel their way in.
They have
like
ways
a
in the way.
rat or like COVID or an undeserving child, just weasels its way in.
I just feel like the Rams played bad for them to get in the playoffs, and the Packers played bad for them to then win that game. For a 13-10 game that they probably should have lost by a lot more than that. I think the Rams, we've talked about it, they have all the talent in the world. They should beat the 49ers and should beat them convincingly, is my thoughts. But for a reason, Shanny knows what's up, gets the job done against them, obviously has the right game plan, and their team's built in the right way to go against the Rams. So it's really hard to go past them. Give
them then.
I want to pick the Rams because I think if the Rams win this, I think they win the Super Bowl because I think they'll play better defense than the other 2 teams in the AFC, and will hold them into a position where they can score enough points because they've got weapons as well that they should be able to win that kind of battle. So I think if the Rams get through here, I think they can beat the Chiefs or Bengals in the Super Bowl. But hey, Jimmy G's playoff record 5-1. He's still doing a job for him. They've already picked his replacement, but he's still out there doing what he needs to do. Samuel's been excellent for them.
How good has Debo been?
Yeah,
what a find! Sending him back, returning punts, and he's trucking people.
Yeah.
Like he's an athlete. He just looks that step quicker and that step
They
stronger
got Mitchell this
than
year as
everyone
well,
else.
and Mitchell I think was the
Mitchell's
fourth pick. And
he's
like,
come along. Yeah. And it was forget about how banged up they were throughout the year as well. Like lost their two starting running backs by halfway through week one.
Yeah, and you can't sleep on their defense. They've got good talent. Their line's
stopping the run. But yeah, it will be an enticing battle. I just think the Rams have got too many weapons. I love what Matthew Stafford's been able to do in his first year there. As a Packers fan as well, I probably have less beef with the Rams than the 49ers.
Yeah. So what's going to happen? We're all going to pick the Rams, and the 49ers will win.
Curse.
This
Sounds like a classic curse.
Yeah.
That's why we love this game. Any given Sunday, etc., etc. Fight for that inch.
I think a
Die for
Rams
that
Chiefs
inch.
Super Bowl.
I'd die for an inch. Shout out Al Pacino if you're listening.
I thought you were going to say shout out to your missus for a second.
Yeah, I was going to do it, but I thought I'd leave it alone.
She'd be in bed by now. I hope she's sleeping well.
I want to see a Rams Chiefs Super Bowl.
I do too. And remember
replay the
shootout.
the 100-point game.
58-55 game from a few years ago when Jared Goff was quarterback. So imagine now with all these new weapons, with Stafford at the helm. How cool would that be to see, an over 80 point, like even if it was 41-38.
I can see the Bengals
that's 79
maybe doing that a little bit as well. But yeah, I think that's if you're the NFL and want to sell bulk tickets, that's the game you want to make.
And perhaps rig it.
Hey, let's see what the refs do when they come out. They've, what sort of stripes they're wearing.
Rams.
All right.
Curses?
I'm going to be a genius, so I'm going to go 49ers. Woo! I'm going to either stop the curse.
Did you pick the Bengals as well, or did you go Chiefs?
I didn't put my tip in. I'll go Chiefs. It's hard to go
You got the
against.
tipping comp.
For
You've
us,
won.
yeah.
You've won.
Yeah. You can't go.
I think I'm 10 behind the leader, but it's
Of the whole thing.
yeah.
It's not a bad effort.
That's pretty good. Can't go past playoff Chiefs against Bengals. I'll go for 49ers. I'll either look like a genius when they win, or I've stopped the curse and helped Stafford to his first Super Bowl.
Either way, you won't look like a genius.
It's a win-win.
Exactly, yeah.
I like it.
It's a win-win. I get to see Stafford in the Super Bowl, or my tip comes off as the 49ers make it to Super Bowl.
Beautiful. I wouldn't mind seeing Deebo Samuel in the Super Bowl. But yeah, Rams for mine. What do the bookies think? This is a little bit closer than I expected.
So Rams are favourites, $1.55. 49ers are out at $2.47. We have a line of 3.5, and total match points, if you want to get around this, 45.5.
Ooh, I don't like the unders overs because the 49ers defense is pretty stout, as is the Rams. I can't see the Rams losing this game. I couldn't see the Packers losing last weekend though either. So who knows?
Let me just confirm. So where these games have been played, Chiefs is playing Arrowhead.
Yep.
And we're playing it so far as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Higher seeds.
Rams will go play an entire playoff series at home if they make the Super Bowl as well, because so
Imagine
far
that.
it's home for them.
Second time a team's played.
Well, yeah,
home
last year the writing was on the wall. The Bucks winning in their home stadium. So imagine if 2 in a row.
Yeah.
That had never happened before, or it hadn't happened for like 30 or 40 years before last year. So.
Yeah. It's very
Anyways,
unlucky. But
what's that thing about history and repeating itself?
That's it. Also, Rams 49ers game. This is the first championship game where the two teams have been in the same division since 2013, which was Seattle and 49ers. Seattle winning that game.
NFC West.
Yep. Last time the AFC have done that was back in 2008, Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Yeah. AFC North always very strong, as is the NFC West. The opposite of the NFC East, as we worked out a few minutes ago.
Cowboys aren't there.
And go. That'll wrap up our NFL chat. Final thoughts? No? Happy to move on?
yeah,
Yes.
Chiefs Rams Super Bowl for me.
I'd like to see Chiefs Rams.
Yeah. That'd be electric.
Yeah.
Bengals Niners.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Didn't the last time the Bengals made the Super Bowl was against the 49ers,
49ers,
wasn't it? They
yes.
lost it in
Yes, they lost it.
89, something like that.
Oh, man. The same. Imagine if they did that again. Fuck the 49ers. I do like Kyle Shanahan and their team. They got some talent over there, but